The Redskins have the Cowboys right where they need them. Honestly, I missed it. I was flying, but I checked in and saw the score, and they were up by they were up by what, 6, I think?
They were up by 9.
With what, a minute and a half? They had the ball. I mean, what could go wrong? Trevor Matich went wrong.
Well, the Redskins are the Redskins.
Oh man! All right, thank you, Trevor Matich.
That's harsh.
with the Redskins up, and going down to the last couple of minutes in the game, and the Cowboys 87 yards away from a touchdown. Redskins are up by 6 points. We're sitting there at the Comcast Sportsnet room watching the game, getting ready for the postgame show, and I remember saying to the guys, well, it's too bad that a pretty good performance on both sides of the ball will be squandered by the Cowboys scoring a touchdown on this drive. And guess what?
What kind of negativity is that?
Yeah, the thing is the Redskins just find so many ways to lose. I mean, a defense that had played pretty well very well over the course of the game, gave up, an 87-yard touchdown drive to lose it. You've got, on one of those plays, a defender slipped when his receiver got behind him. Yep. You've got all kinds of different things that the Redskins did wrong, different, new, and unusual and fun things that caused them to lose this game. And so right now the Redskins have just become fantastically excellent at finding new ways to mess up.
Well,
where was the pass rush on that last time? I mean, where was the pass rush? They didn't.
It looks like Tony Romo had so much time back there.
But see, that's a great question. Where was the pass rush on that? Well, first of all, give Romo credit, but there were times over the course of this game where the pass rush was there. It was an excellent call by defensive coordinator Jim Haslett. For example, on one play, it was a third down. The Cowboys were on the 14-yard line, third down, and a blitz was called. Here comes the blitzer. Unblocked, hits Tony Romo clean, but doesn't wrap up. And Tony Romo spins away and throws a touchdown pass. Well, if that doesn't happen, this is earlier in the game, if he wraps up there, it's now fourth down, and they kick a field goal. A 4-point difference in a game the Redskins lost by 1 point. When you talk about that last touchdown play at the very end, the game winner for Dallas, it's fourth down. They have to score. They have 10 yards to go. They can't really run it. They have to throw it. So what do the Redskins do? They rush 4 pass rushers. Everybody else was back around the end zone to make sure that they didn't have anybody open to throw the ball to. 3 of the 4 pass rushers stayed in their pass rush lane to keep Romo hemmed in the pocket so he couldn't scramble and buy time. But the fourth guy, the guy over the Dallas right guard, got too excited. This was a young guy. He got too excited. He ran inside a little bit and then fell down on the ground. That left a gaping chasm in the lane he should have been occupying that Romo stepped into. That allowed him to buy time and allow the defense to break down in pass coverage and allow DeMarco Murray to get open.
What grade will you give Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins, I think, took a step back. This was a terrible pass defense, and he didn't perform very well. So I'd give him probably a C in this game. He threw another interception for the same reason he threw 2 last week against Atlanta, in that he threw behind a receiver. And it seems to be developing a pattern that when Cousins is on rhythm and he throws to a spot, he's very accurate. But when Cousins sees a guy and tries to throw to the guy he's looking at, he tends to throw at the receiver. The receiver keeps running, and the ball ends up behind him.
Yeah.
And that's when he has interception.
Talk to me about London Fletcher. It was his last home game, it appears. Was there any more movement on that story? Did he confirm that he is retiring? And how was his last home game?
Well, he talks like he's retiring. He played very well in his last home game. I mean, Tony Romo is a much better quarterback than people give him credit for. This Dallas offense does have capability. And the defense played very well, and really they responded around London. The thing about London Fletcher is, he's had 255 or so consecutive games played. Has never, ever missed a game in 16 years at middle linebacker.
Yeah.
That's one
He's the
thing.
Cal Ripken of the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a much tougher game.
Yeah, in a game where there are a few more collisions than you get in the infield,
Yes.
In Major League Baseball. But but as far as London goes, what he brings to this table is not so much his play on the field, although that's very, very good. What he brings is the fact that everybody respects him, and he understands what Ray Lewis said a long time ago, the future Hall of Fame Baltimore Ravens linebacker that just retired. Ray Lewis said, "You pay me for practice. Games are free. Well, too many players in the NFL have it the other way around. They
Yeah.
hate to practice, but they love to play games. Well, London Fletcher makes sure that his team is focused on preparation. And that's one of the things that makes him a great leader.
All right, Trevor Matich, last game against the Giants. We'll have you back on Friday to talk about that. But for now, I got to turn your focus to another person, another team in the league, the Broncos and Peyton Manning. A remarkable thing happened yesterday. Again, one more game still left in this season, but he broke Tom Brady's single-season touchdown record with 51 touchdown passes. At his age, given the injuries he's had, we'll talk about this achievement.
Well, it's phenomenal. And he does it with his arm, sure. He's got to be accurate or nothing else matters. But the reason Brady broke that record in 2007 and the reason that that Manning just bested it was because they both defeat defenses with their head. Right. They understand before the snap where they're likely to go with the ball. Right at the snap, they see the disguise and the coverage melt away and what's really happening back there. And before they even get to the back of their drop, they know where the ball needs to go to be the optimum place to defeat that particular coverage. And it's that knowledge then that makes those guys record breakers. But also, I want you to keep this in mind when you talk to your friends around the water cooler about this. Keep in mind that rules have been changing to benefit the offense. You can't hit the receiver hardly at all now after the first. We can't hit him at all. Can't touch him after the first 5 yards. You can't touch the quarterback anymore in most ways if he's in the pocket with the ball in his hand. You can't hit guys high now, so it takes away some.
Are you putting an asterisk next to this?
I'm not putting an asterisk. But what I'm saying is, you used to never see a 4,000-yard passer. Now you see him all the time. Mm-hmm. And so I think part of the reason is the rule changes in the NFL, and kudos to the NFL. Because that leads to breaking records and scoring and excitement and fan interest. And part of it is because of rule changes that help the offense and that help make it safer for offensive players.
But Trevor Matich, here's the interesting thing. We keep hearing that Russell Wilson and RG3 and Cam Newton and Kyle Kaepernick, these mobile, very electrifying, anything can happen kind of quarterbacks, they're the wave of the future. And yet you look at the guys who are breaking the records and still achieving at high levels, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they're not that kind of quarterback. I mean, is this really the way we're headed with this league, or do you still want that big, tall guy who knows the game so well and has an accurate arm like Peyton Manning?
See, the ultimate is the combination. I mean, ultimately, you'll still always beat an NFL defense with your head, not your body, because they'll be better than your body every time. And that's Manning and that's Brady. But when you've got guys like Cam Newton and Russell Wilson that are developing into guys that can move, but also are developing into that kind of a mental giant, and they still have a ways to go, but it looks like they could get there, then you have the best of both worlds, and I think that might be the state of the art.
Bears or Packers next week?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Who cares?
I'm going to Chicago.
The Bears. The
Lions.
Wait a minute, Bears. They might start Jay Cutler. They want Grossman back. Come on now.
Enough said. All right, thank you, Trevor Matich. Merry Christmas. Enjoy all those college bowl games. I know you will, and we'll talk to you on Friday.